As the second part starts, Frodo and Sam are shown moving further. The dangerous paths lie ahead of them, with massive mountains. There is a large maze there, but they are not alone this time. Someone was after them, and it was Gollum. Gollum did not have anything else in his life apart from this ring. He was fascinated with this ring and wishes to have it at any cost. Gollum appears one night while Frodo and Sam are asleep. He tries to take the ring, but Frodo awakes. He pulls Gollum. Gollum, Frodo and Sam fight. Frodo keeps his sword around Gollum's neck at the end. Frodo makes Gollum a hostage because he is terrified. Gollum says them to set him free. Frodo's friend Sam warns him that if we let him go, he could be a threat. He could kill us both at night, but Gollum apologizes to him. Sam does not believe anything Gollum is saying. On the other hand, Frodo believes him for some extent. Frodo asks Gollum about the best possible way forward. Gollum says to them that he knows the way and he can show them the way. After going there, they might be able to destroy the ring. On the other hand, we see Saruman has made his new army. His army soldiers are holding 2 hobbits as hostages. They are Frodo's friends. Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli, on the other hand, are following them, so that they can save these 2 hobbits, Merry and Pippin. Saruman and his troops assault Rohan's realm, so they could get fuel and wood for weapon manufacturing. Saruman and his assistant had the king of Rohan under their control. Their king exiled his nephew from his kingdom because he was raising his voice against Saruman. The army, on the other hand, has taken Frodo and his friend. They try to prepare them as their meal. Later, a group of men attacks them. They don't want these hobbits to hurt. Now that army and these men begin fighting one another. After taking advantage of the situation, both hobbits flee. Meanwhile, the Rohan kingdom's nephew attacks that army. In the morning, Aragorn meets the army of the Rohan kingdom's nephew. He asks about the 2 hobbits from them. They find that they have burned the army soldier to death. He claims that once they arrive, they could search for hobbits. He says that there is almost no hope for their survival. They could have died with them. When Aragorn goes to the site of battle, he discovers that both hobbits have fled into the forest. When 2 hobbits arrive in a forest, a living tree attacks them. It appears that the tree has given them to someone. On the other hand, Gollum risks everything to take Frodo to Mordor. When they stay for the night to rest, Frodo tries to help Gollum. He makes an effort to remind Gollum of his true name. Smeagol was his real name, he realizes. Before getting the ring, he was a hobbit. During this time, they are pursued by a dark shadow. This dark shadow is riding a huge dragon. Frodo, Sam and Gollum hides from the dragon in a bush. Frodo is now being controlled by the ring and he is trying to wear it against his will. Sam, Frodo's friend, tries to stop him. When the rider leaves, they go through the Black Gate. Aragorn and his men arrive in the forest, however, they are attacked. They think it's Saruman, but he's actually Gandalf. He claims that after defeating the demons, he was injured. But he was rescued, and he was sent with great powers to protect Middle-earth. Gandalf informs them that he has sent the hobbits to a safe location. He with Aragorn and his friends set out for the kingdom of Rohan. Gollum, on the other hand, sends Frodo to the Black Gate. However, while guarding the gate, they notice the Dark Lord's army. Meanwhile, the gate opens to allow the soldiers to enter. Sam falls when a cliff breaks. Frodo tries to get his friend out of there. After seeing its soldiers, they cover themselves with a cloth. Frodo and Sam plan to enter through the gate. But Gollum stops him and warns them that going through this way is risky. He knows another path. Frodo, who has faith in him now, asks him to show it to him. Gandalf reaches Rohan's kingdom and frees the king from Saruman's control. Saruman confronts him through this king, but Gandalf has grown in power. He frees the king from his grip. That king is angry and tries to kill Saruman's assistant. But Aragorn stops him, stating he will convey Saruman's word to them. Then the king learns of his son's death. He is heartbroken. Gandalf asks him to go to war and to prepare for it. The king, on the other hand, rejects the fight. He no longer wishes to harm his people for the battle. He wishes to take his people to another location where they will be safe. Aragorn and his companions securely take the king's men to a new location. Aragorn makes an impression on the king's niece. Aragorn heals a horse and later asks to free this horse. He says that this horse has been through multiple wars. Now Aragorn and the king's niece have a strong bond. Saruman's assistant, on the other hand, informs him of everything concerning the state of the Rohan kingdom. What's going on with them and where they're heading. Saruman sends his army to attack them. Frodo, on the other hand, wants to help Gollum. But Sam does not like Gollum. Sam says to Frodo that you are gradually becoming aggressive because of Ring. He tries to persuade Frodo to listen to him, but he doesn't. Because of Frodo, it seems like that Gollum was turning into a good man. His goodness wins over his evilness and he chooses to be Frodo's servant. The next day, as they proceed, they see the Dark Lord's army. They notice that Dark Lord has not forgotten about his last defeat. He couldn't bear losing this time. Later, they notice that the Rangers are attacking the Dark Lord's army. Boromir's younger brother, Faramir, is leading them. They take Frodo and his friend, mistaking them for Dark Lord's army troops, and take them with them. Aragorn, on the other hand, is attacked by an army of orcs. Aragorn requests that the king's niece rescue women and children. In this army, he battles alongside the king. After beating the army, they try to save each other. During this time, Aragorn is clinging to an army animal. Then that orc ties his hand with that animal. Aragorn falls down with that animal from the mountains. Aragorn's company search for him after the battle. They notice Arwen's jewelry in the hands of an orc. They are all terrified that Aragorn has dead and they move further. On the other hand, two hobbits and their companions arrive at an Isengard garden. They witness the massive army of the Dark Lord and Saruman. Aragorn's horse, on the other hand, discovers him injured and carries him away. The scene shifts in Rivendell, where Arwen was waiting for Aragorn. Her father warns her that if she waits in the Middle East, Aragorn will never return. He claims that elves live a long life, but Aragorn is a human. He will die as he grows older, leaving Arwen alone. Arwen agrees with her father's opinion. The White Witch, on the other hand, is getting ready to help humans. Because she could see how Frodo's strength was decreasing day by day. Dark Lord's army is growing and it is capable of destroying humans. They will also dominate the Middle East. Arwen's father sends an army to the area. Scene shifts. Faramir understands that Frodo is Boromir's companion. Faramir's father was not pleased with him. He preferred Boromir. Faramir is holding Gollum because he knows Frodo has the ring. Faramir believes that this is the best method to prove to his father that he is his blood. He chooses to bring Frodo along. Aragorn, on the other hand, sees the army of the Dark Lord. Aragorn informs their king that this force consists of 10,000 men. That is only a small part of the army of the Dark Lord. He has sent that army to destroy humans. The king has no choice but to go to battle with the small army he has. The king orders his troops to prepare for battle. That living tree, on the other hand, decides to attack Isengard. The citizens of Rohan's kingdom are terrified. They know they can't win this battle, yet they prepare with a little hope. Aragorn joins them as well. The time has come for all good people to unite in the fight against evil. Now, elves also reach for their help. When the army of the Dark Lord arrives, an intense war begins. The army of the Dark Lord rains arrows down on Rohan's land. They break the castle's war. Aragorn gets injured. The army enters the castle. Aragorn rises and orders the elves to attack them. A conflict erupts once more, and the elf leader dies in the process. Aragorn and Gimli are fighting fearlessly. The king, on the other hand, secures their gate. They make every effort to keep the troops away from reaching the castle. Faramir, on the other hand, arrives in Gondor with Frodo. While watching everything being destroyed there, he seeks to comprehend Faramir. He asks him to let him go to Mordor to destroy the ring. Faramir, on the other hand, does not listen, and the Rangers attack Gondor. The army of the Dark Lord has taken control of half of the kingdom. As a result of this, Aragorn sends children and others to a mountain. Aragorn and the king afterward go to battle with the army. Gandalf also arrives, bringing with him his army to help Rohan's kingdom. He makes an attempt to save them. The living tree has surrounded Saruman's castle and attacked him. The scene shifts to Frodo. He was about to wear the ring in front of the dragon rider. Sam arrives there and stops him. By attacking the dragon with arrows, Faramir saves them. Aragorn and the king, on the other hand, has won the battle. Faramir now gets aware of the ring's reality. He lets Frodo to go and tells him the way to exit. Frodo, along with Gollum and Sam, leaves to destroy the ring.